IT department manages thousands of endpoints across its network. These endpoints include not only desktop and servers, but also laptops, tablets, smartphones, Internet of Things, and networking devices. Everything runs smoothly until unexpected event happens, where systems were hacked and breached, as cyber criminals are constantly refining their tools and tactics in order to stay ahead of the game, to steal data information and extort the organization. The abilities of SOC are dependent on its technology capabilities. Technology should collect and aggregate data, prevent threats, and respond as they occur. A team that is equipped with tools and data sources that reduce the false positive to a minimum can maximize the time analysis spent investigating real security incidents. Effective security tools support all steps of incident response process, centralizing informations, providing fast analysis, and supporting in-depth investigations are key. Security operations and management understand cyber threats, IOC and attack methodology, incident, events, and logging, enhance incident detections with threat intelligence, and conduct incident response. SOC are organized in 4 tiers. Initially, SIEM alert flow to Tier 1 analysts who monitor, prioritize, and investigate alerts, manage and configure security monitoring tools such as deployment of EDR agents, prioritize alerts or issues, and perform triage to confirm a real security incident is taking place. He or she is responsible to look closely at each alert, discard any false positive, and determine how aggressive any actual threats are and what they could be targeting. This allows them to triage emerging threats appropriately, handling the most urgent issues first. Analysts compile and analyze the data, either from the period of time or after a breach. Security Informations and Event Management or SIEM aggregates and correlates data from security feeds. Spokes of this model can incorporate a variety of systems from application, firewall, operating system, and endpoints, all of which produce their own internal logs, collected, maintained, and regularly reviewed. The log of all network activity and communications for the entire organizations. This data help defines a baseline for a normal network activity, can reveal the existence of threats, and can be used for remediation and forensic in the aftermath of the incident. Tools used by the SOC scan the network 24/7 to flag any abnormalities or suspicious activities. Monitoring the network around the clock allows the SOC or SOC to be notified immediately of emerging threats, giving them the best chance to prevent or mitigate harm. Monitoring tools can include SIEM and EDR, the most advanced of which can use behavioral analysis to teach system the difference between regular day-to-day operations and actual threat behavior, minimizing the amount of triage and analysis that must be done by humans. Antivirus solution can identify and block many new types of malware, but hackers are constantly creating more. Many types of malware are difficult to detect using standard method. For example, fileless malware, a recent development, operates in the computer memory, thus avoiding malware signature scanner. EDR is endpoint detection response and endpoint protections that use data collected to understand how a cyber threat behaves and the way that organizations respond to the cyber threats. EDR attempts a more holistic approach through continuous endpoint monitoring and rigorous data analysis. Businesses can gain better understanding of how one threat or another infects an endpoint and the mechanism by which it is spread across the network. Security analysts sent an incident report concerning an anomaly detected with the details of source IP, destination IP, and other detail logs captured upon validating the threats. Real threats are passed to Tier 2 with deeper security experience who conducts further analysis and decides on a strategy for containment. Incident responders similar to Tier 1 analysts but with more experience, including incident response. Incident responder receive incidents and performs deep analysis, correlate with threat intelligence to identify the threat actor, nature of the attack, and the system of the data affected, decide on a strategy for containment, remediations, and recovery, and act on it. They had forensic skills, malware assessment, and threat intelligence skills. Based on the incident report, incident responder investigate on infected machines looking for IOC or indicator of compromise. Once validated, the incident responder conduct a forensic on machines to get the details of malware. It check on the SIEM log to check the network for potential command and control for network forensic analysis. Incident responder responds as soon as incident is confirmed, performing actions like shutting down or isolating endpoint, terminating harmful process, or preventing them from executing, deleting files, and more. The goal is to respond to the extent necessary while having as small an impact on a business continuity as possible. In the aftermath of the incident responder is responsible for figuring out exactly what happened, when, how, and why. During these investigations, the incident responder used logs, data, and other information to trace the problem to its source, which will help them prevent similar problems from occurring in the future. Incident responder act on both roles of investigator and responder. Where investigator, once a breach occurs, the investigator finds out what happened and why. Working closely with the responder, often one person performs both investigator and responder roles. Responder, there are a number of tasks that come with responding to a security breach. An individual familiar with this requirement is indispensable during a crisis. Critical breach are moved up to Tier 3, the senior analyst, who manages the incident and is responsible for actively hunting for threats on an ongoing basis. He or she is the subject matter expert, threat hunter similar to Tier 2 analysts, but with even more experience, including high-level incident, experience with penetration testing tools, and cross-organizations data visualizations, malware reverse engineering, experience of identifying and developing response to a new threats and attack pattern. Day-to-day conduct vulnerability assessment and penetration tests and review alerts, industry news, threat intelligence, and security data. It actively hunts for threats that have found their way into the network, as well as unknown vulnerabilities and security gaps. When a major incident occurs, join with the incident responder in responding and containing it. Threat intelligence data from within the organizations in conjunction with information from external sources provide insight into vulnerabilities and threats to the SOC team. External cyber intelligence includes signatures updates, news feeds, incident report, vulnerability alerts, and threats briefs. SOC staff can leverage SOC monitoring tools that provide integrated threat intelligence. Though penetration tester, it could be part of Security Operations Center or SOC or a third-party provider such services for security improvement, but this refinement can also include hands-on practice such as red teaming, where pen tester attacking the environment to mimic and replicate such attack on how attacker might compromise the infrastructure before the attacker will. Once successfully gaining control on infrastructure, pen tester provide the pen test report indicating vulnerabilities and it can be exploited. During these steps, the plans outlined in the security roadmap come to life. Need to implement improvements on a continuous basis. The Tier 4 Analyst is a SOC manager in charge of recruitment, strategy, priorities, and the direct management of SOC staff or SOC staff. When major security incident occur, SOC manager act as a commander, similar with Tier 3, including project management skills, incident response management training, strong communication skills, responsible for hiring and training SOC staff, in charge of defensive and offensive strategy, manage resources, priorities, and projects, and manage the team directly when responding to business-critical security incident. It acts as a point of contact for the businesses for security incident, compliance, and other security. A Security Operations Center continuously monitor and analyze the security procedures of organization. It also defends against security breach and actively isolate and mitigate security risk to monitor, detect, investigate, and respond to cyber threats around the clock. Security operation teams are charged with monitoring and protecting many assets such as intellectual property, personal data, business system, and brand integrity as the implementation component of an organization's overall cybersecurity framework. Security operation team act as the central point of collaborations in coordinated effort to monitor, assist, and defend against cyber attacks. Security operation teams face many challenges. They can be overworked, understaffed, and often gain little attention from upper management. Security operations best practice can give companies the tools they need to protect themselves and offer SOC teams a better working environment. Para sa inyong katanungan o komento, huwag mag-atubiling mag-iwan ng mensahe sa ibaba ng video. At kung inyong nagustuhan ang video na ito, pakibahagi sa sino mang nagustong malaman o nagnanais matuto patungkol sa cybersecurity, information security o kaya IT para dadami ang nakakaalam sa InfoSec. As always, stay safe, stay secure, until next video to upload. Maraming salamat!